Hello. Thank you so much, Dr. Kanema, Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ho from Malaysia, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, and today I would like to present my paper, trying to answer the very first question: how to achieve sustainable low carbon society in Malaysia, with special case refer to Iskandar, Malaysia. In this paper, basically I will cover the topic on this development of a low carbon society scenario in Iskandar, Malaysia. And actually, in this presentation, I also try to explain the output of our research from Satreps, sponsored by GST, JICA, with the help of Japanese experts, AIM, Kyoto University, NIES, Okayama University, and also our local expert, to come up with this project. As you can see, this project is a case study. We hope that by applying the modeling that we use in Japan into the Malaysian case, and then we can interpret it into policy making. So I must mention here, Malaysians have a lot of plan and a lot of vision, but unfortunately we do not have the expertise to quantify this vision into CO2 emission output, to provide some evidence to convert them into policies. So I think this is where the interfacing between the Japanese expert, especially from Kyoto University, NIES, and also other Japanese experts, to convert this particular modeling result into policy making. Okay, I think my presentation today basically covers three main areas. One is the background. I will explain very quickly on the vision, the national vision and challenges. Secondly, I will go to the case study. And thirdly, I will explain the Satreps project that we are going to launch this year. This is Malaysia. We can see that Malaysia is a country almost the same size as Japan, 330 square kilometers. We have two sides. One is the Peninsular Malaysia, and the other side we call Sabah and Sarawak, or the Borneo Island side. And what we can see here, Iskandar, Malaysia is located in the south. I think Professor Masoka mentioned, which is just next to Singapore. Temperature in Malaysia is hot all year round, summer. We do not have winter like here, but we have a problem of hot and wet, and usually we have this flooding problem with this global warming issue. Okay, issues that confronting us, we can see that actually, like many developing countries, we have rapid urbanization, which is as high as 5 to 7% rate, industrialization, very high carbon intensity dependent on fossil fuel. We are still using a lot of petrol, a lot of natural gas, very high private car ownership, very low density development and urban sprawl, which is actually very unhealthy for low carbon. And also our technology in terms of appliances are still very low efficiency level. Okay, in terms of national vision, the government have tried to do many things. Of course, the first one we are putting as One Malaysia, or in our language called Satu Malaysia. One Malaysia here means basically we are trying to achieve a country of multi-racial, multi-religion, and multi-society. So that is one of the most important things, to achieve the national unity. Secondly, how do we charge to become a high-income nation? And that was incorporated in our plan that we hope that by 2020, we should be able to be a high-income economy as well as a nation. But to achieve that, we also want it to be inclusive in the sense that it will cover all the community, Malay, Chinese, and Indian race, as well as using sustainable development as our own main theme for development. And then they have been to go through we call government transformation plan and economic transformation plan. But specifically, we have a 10 Malaysian plan where I outline here that we are trying to go for building a quality of life, emphasizing complexity, emphasizing on urban conservation, means our development is going to be very much on regional base. We are going to emphasize on climate resilient growth policy. We are going to adopt adaptation mitigation measures, and then using renewable energy and energy efficiency technology. And then, of course, talking about solid waste management, conserving forests, and also improving air quality. Yeah, we are lucky that we have a Prime Minister that we have this vision that he have made a pledge that to reduce our CO2 emission intensity in Malaysia to 40%, by 40% by the year of 2020, using the 2005 as a base year. So with that, actually with that statement in 2009, that have made many ministry and many university researchers to give very high emphasis on this low carbon society pathway. So in fact, with that, we are quite lucky actually, with the help of Kyoto University and NIES, we are actually quite forefront university in this area. We have already worked on low carbon city development concept together with Kyoto University and NIES on earlier on. So with that, actually, we try to put forward our plan how to go about to use Iskandar Malaysia as our case study. Okay, if you look at here, Malaysia after that, the announcement, actually, there are quite a number of new policy change. I must say that I will just list out a few of the major ones. National Green Technology Policy, where this is launched in 2009, whereby that the energy, building, water and waste management and transportation are given a big push to adopt green technology into any infrastructure development. Secondly, under the Malaysian plan also, they have mentioned that two big cities, Putrajaya and Satreps, will be a pioneer township in green technology. So they would like to use two cities as a case study to use green technology in their city development. And the next one is National Policy on Climate Change, where this one, now they are forming a committee how to prepare the roadmap for Malaysia to achieve a 40% reduction of the greenhouse gas emission by 2020. And of course, other related green policies are Green Neighbourhood Guidelines and also Green Township Framework. So these are all in place trying to achieve our call low carbon pathway development for Malaysia. Okay, secondly, I will go into the second part, that is the case study. Like what Professor Masuka Sensei had mentioned, the location of Iskandar Malaysia is strategic. It is located about 7 hours from Japan. If you look at it, actually it's located midway between the big development in the east, that's Japan and China, and also on the western side with India. So actually it becomes a very potential area for investment. So we foresee that actually without a good master plan to incorporate green or so-called low carbon society development, we are afraid that actually this will be one of the main emitters of carbon in our country. So I think we will take this very good opportunity to do a proactive action how to reduce CO2 emission in Iskandar Malaysia. The map below shows that basically the location of Iskandar Malaysia just next to Singapore. You can see that actually the size of Singapore is about only 1/4 of Iskandar Malaysia. So the impact of development of Iskandar Malaysia will be very, very big. Population size is 1.3 million and is projected to grow at a rate of 2.2 to about 3 million by the year of 2020. Okay, this is what we have, the main master plan that we use in our preparations of this low carbon society. Because we adopt this one of the main reasons because they have a good master plan. But unfortunately, this master plan are a lot of visions and a lot of good policy statements. They do not have the quantitative modeling to identify or to quantify the carbon dioxide emission as well as carbon footprint to develop this region. So actually the local authority are looking forward for our input to help them to come out with a policy or to review their policy in such a way that they can have some carbon footprint or CO2 emission calculation into their next review of their master plan. Okay, this Iskandar Malaysian vision basically is to be a strong, sustainable metropolis of international standing. GDP in 2005 is 17 million. It's expected to grow about close to 5 times to 325 billion. And then per capita income at the moment is 51,765 and hope to achieve by 108 1,850 by the year of 2025. And then population, as I mentioned, 1.4 to about 3 million. These are basic data that we use in our modeling exercise to to derive what is the energy demand, and then from there you calculate what will be the CO2 emission by 2025, and then potential to reduce the CO2 emission. In terms of area-wise, we have 5 regional areas, 5 we call flagship area, from A to E. The old town or the CBD is at A. B is a kind of Nusajaya, where we call it as a new administrative center, where it's a green area whereby they start to develop the new state capital for Johor. C is a new port, a container port that is to complement the development of Singapore port development. And D is one of the heavy industry area where a lot of investment from Japan, Korea, China, and Europe. Then E is an area where, in terms of airport and educational development. So we try to not to spread the development out into all over Iskandar Malaysia, but we like to concentrate to have a compact city development for the 5 main sub-centers that we plan to have. I'll quickly just go through some of the illustration. Maybe some who have not been to Iskandar Malaysia can have a look at what is the image of the Iskandar Malaysia. Below is the city of Johor Bahru, if you look from Singapore. And then we can see actually the city is quite a old city because it has grown since the British colony. And then a lot of new kind of urban renewal is taking place. And then, as I mentioned, B is a new state capital where they replan the whole area. And they introduce a lot of these marinas and educational cities, trying to promote Johor as an international education hub. C is a port. This port has grown from a new area just in less than 5 years. It's now hitting almost 12 million TEU and rank of one of the busiest airport in this region. And you can see a lot of earthwork clearing because now actually they are going for very rapid development. So we do hope that actually our plan will contribute to their next review of their plan. This is basically one of the heaviest petrochemical industrial development in this region. We have, as I mentioned, we have a lot of Japanese investors in terms of petrochemical, in terms of port development as well, but mainly it's from medium to heavy industry. And of course, this is one of the zone that we have, the last one, where is airport development, education development. Okay, I will explain to you how we adopt the model that developed by AIMS and Kyoto University into this. We basically try to compute the energy demand for this Iskandar Malaysia using IO input-output analysis in terms of, and then going by sectors of residential, transport, commercial, and industrial sector. And then from the energy demand, we try to compute the CO2 emission. And this is the result of the energy demand data. We can see that actually, based on the current 2005 data, we have about 3.2 million energy demand. Will increase about 2.3 times to 10.9 million. And then we can see that actually in this distribution, industrial sector is one of the highest, which will also remain the highest by the year even 2025, based on the master plan I mentioned earlier. And then with countermeasures that we put into our plan, we were able to reduce our energy demand